B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to be counting tonight Netzach of Yesod, Netzach of Yesod, which represents an eternal covenant. Since we were whole week we're talking about relationships and specifically marriage, then when a couple gets married, they don't have the intention to get divorced sometime around down the line. Some do.
To get into the country.
So I'm not talking about to get a green card. I'm talking about real marriage. They don't say, maybe in 5 years we'll get divorced. When they get married, the intention is forever. And the intention is that the connection will be eternal and forever. Now, not only that, in any relationship, at least in a healthy relationship, you don't have the intention to break the relationship at some point, unless you're a fraud and you're going into a relationship to fraud the person and you have an intention. I'm talking about normal, healthy relationships. When you build a relationship, a partner or whatever it is, the intention is that it should be eternal. If not eternal, then it should last, at least in this world, forever. So what does one need to do in order to achieve that? Then has to be absolute, an oath or a vow for complete loyalty and trust. Any relationship that doesn't have loyalty will never last. It's not going to be a relationship that will last, definitely not eternity. So when I'm going into any type of a relationship, and again, it can be marriage, can be a business partner, can be friends, if I don't accept of myself that I should be loyal in this relationship, it will never last. It will last a little bit. And this is the idea of Netzach by Yesod, because Netzach comes from the word Nitzchiyut, eternity, something that is eternal. And we mentioned already that Yesod is the power of connecting between two opposites. So the Netzach Sheba Yesod is the eternity in the connection that I have. And again, in order to reach to any type of a relationship to be successful and eternal, it's all based on one thing, is that's called loyalty, ne'emanut in Hebrew. And I have to take on myself an oath or a vow that I will forever be loyal. I'm not going in here to this relationship to fraud you, or to cheat you out of something, or to take advantage out of you. Of course, that unfortunately, in our generation, most of the relationships are based on something that is opposite of loyalty. It's a complete opposite of loyalty. Whether people, like you said, they get married in order to get into a country, or to make money, or to be married into money, or into business, or most people, their relationships, even business partners, they're not looking to build a solid partnership here. They're not going to make money, to ride on somebody's back. Most people, they get into partnerships because they're looking to ride on somebody else's back. So I remember when I was right after the army, when I left the army, then my mind was always business, how making money. So when I left the army, I one day came up with a bright idea, and I decided to make a big party. And the party was to be on my birthday. I went and hired a club. I went and hired the DJ, the bouncers, bought the alcohol, made the ads, made the flyers, got some PR to people, and I made a whole promotion. And we made a big party. And everybody, my friends, were laughing at me. Nonsense, but you really think somebody will come to your party? And my best friend at the time, that I thought is a best friend, was mocking me the whole time. Because I went and was really PRing the event, and he the whole time was mocking me. Came the night of the party, and he didn't even show up, and that night was my actual birthday. And the way it worked, people came, I charged the admission. That was already the first way of making money. I rented the bar, so we sold the alcohol. And at the end of the night, I made a lot of money. And we're going about 25 years ago. I made at the time, I don't know if you remember, it was like, after all the expenses, it was like 7,000 or 9,000 shekels then, one night. It was a lot of money. And of course I was very happy with the business transaction, the investment worked well. And of course the next day I meet my best friend and I tell him, he doesn't know how it was. I said, I made so and so, I showed off to everybody how it was successful. Okay. A few days later I meet up with my friend and he tells me, where were you today? So I said, I went scouting out for a new location for the next party. He's like, well, you're going to make another party? I said, well, the first one was a success. Now I already have the success. In 2-3 weeks, we're going to hit another party and I'll start doing these parties. But next time I already got the point. I know my risk factor. We're going to make it 3 times bigger. So right away, of course, what does he say? I want in. What do you mean I want in? He's like, let's be partners. So I'm not in the market for looking for a partner. He's like, why? Why are you so mean? I said, because I'm not looking for a partner. You look for a partner when you need somebody. What do I need you for? I didn't need you the first time. I don't need you now. So, and he got very upset at me. You're so mean. You don't want me to make money with you. I said, listen, for 2 months when I was planning this, you were mocking me. Now you saw that it's successful. You want a piece of the pie? I don't need you. You're not contributing anything here. I don't need you, not for your money, not for your connections, not for your skills. I mean, you're a good friend of mine, but what does it say that I have to include you into the deal? Nevertheless, that's when I saw that he wasn't really such a good friend, because he right away turned his back against me and said, this is why you're not my friend anymore, because I don't want to include you in my business deal. But nevertheless, the point is what I'm trying to say here, that most relationships, unfortunately, if I don't have a benefit here, I don't need you. And especially when it comes to business and partnership, and if I'm not able to suck the juice out of you, then why do I need you? And so unfortunately, many people, their relationship, they want to ride on somebody else. This is not a healthy relationship. That's why relationships don't last. That's why, unfortunately, we have a 60, 70, 80% divorce rate. I don't even know. I've stopped counting already. Every second couple, I think they're already getting divorced. Why? Because there's no loyalty. And the relationships, people are getting into relationships without taking into consideration that if I'm not going to be loyal in this relationship, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. It's not a true relationship. So, since the whole week of Yesod is focusing on relationships, and Yesod is a foundation. So if I want a building to be firm, it has to have a strong foundation. If it doesn't have a strong foundation, it will never, ever last. It will collapse. So, and needless to say, that the foundation assures me stability. That's how it is. It's very simple. There is a saying in Hebrew, and they use it a lot. It's actually a verse from the book of Shmuel. Shmuel has Shmuel Aleph and Shmuel Bet in chapter 15. And there's a verse that says, Netzach Yisrael lo yishaker. The eternity of the nation of Israel is because they don't lie. And there's other ways of interpreting it, but the verse says, Netzach Yisrael lo yishaker. We are basing our eternity on faith and on honesty, and the opposite of lying, lo yishaker. Any relationship or anything that is based on lies will always fall apart. So, if there's no loyalty and there's no truth, whatever it is will collapse. It's just a matter of time. Anything that you want to be eternal and firm has to be based on truth. Wow. That's why very soon we're going to read in the Torah about Korach. And Korach was against Moshe Rabbeinu. And if you remember, at some point the ground opened and swallowed Korach and everybody who was involved in this whole affair. The sons of Korach made tshuva, and a little cliff came out and caught them. On the way, everybody fell down into Gehenom. So they screamed at the time, Moshe emet v'torato emet. Moshe is the truth, and his Torah is the truth. So the Torah is called emet. It's all about emet. The whole Torah is based on one pillar that is called truth, emet. Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't lie, Hashem doesn't lie, the Torah doesn't lie. Anything that has in it some type of even a dust of deception, that will never last. So when I want something to be eternal and everlasting, and since we're concentrating this week on relationships, relationship has to be based on trust, on loyalty, on truth. You know, just today we had a class in the morning, we were talking about different approaches and when you go out on a date, on shidduchim. And somebody was asking a question and I said, when you go on a date, you have to tell the truth. You can't tell a person, hide information from the person. What, they're going to find out about it 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. You have to, in any situation, you have to be truthful. You have to build this loyalty. And on the other hand, you have to be loyal to the other person. You can't turn your back against anybody. So again, the Netzach of Yesod is the foundation of any type of eternal relationship. And since we like looking at the practical part of it, so I need to look in any type of relationship that I have, whether it's my wife, my kids, business, whatever it is. I have to see how loyal I am in the relationship. Am I loyal or not? And I have to look at the relationship with my wife or to some others, their husband, and say, am I really loyal here or am I not 100% loyal? Am I lying to my wife? Am I lying, cheating, whatever it is? And the same thing with any type of relationship. Any relationship that I have to test it to see if I'm really loyal there. And if I'm not, then I know what I need to work on. And if you find that in all the relationships you are 100% loyal, then good, you can mark a V, check on one of the lists of what you need to do in this lifetime. But since we're not here and the story's over. After here we're going to the next world, and we're going to share the relationships forever. It's not that we're saying here goodbye. So the relationship has to be eternal. So everything is based on this pillar of loyalty and truth, and if I don't have it in my life, I can't complain that I have disasters as relationships. So practically saying, you have to now observe in your relationships, in every relationship, how loyal am I? Am I 100%, 90%, 50%, not at all? How often do I lie to my wife, to my kids, to my business partner, excuse me, or anybody else? And to understand that the foundation of an eternal relationship is based on loyalty and truth.